Hello friends, I'm Angela and this is Diamonds and Pearls. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to talk to you about planner indecision and just where I'm at right now with things. So let's get into it. I did film this yesterday and I was kind of all over the place and I decided to write down a list, make some notes so I could be a little more concise today and not ramble on. Anyway, I'm going to talk to you about why this isn't working for me and why I have decided to go back to a bullet journal. So, like I said, I have notes. Let me actually start with what is working. What the things that maybe not what is working, the things that I like about it and the things that are not decision factors in my choice to go back to a bullet journal. So I do like the way that this looks. It's very nice. It has a nice modern look to the cover. I enjoy that. I did add a little sticker to it, a little bunny with a journal, or maybe that's a bear. Maybe it's a bear. I enjoy the look of it, the aesthetics. It's very pleasing. The design is great. It's nice to look at. Sorry, I have to refer to my notes. So yes, it's nice to look at and it is a nice quality planner. Like I said, the design is really nice. The layout is good. The paper is one of my favorite things. This Tomoe River paper in 68 GSM. It's a good weight. It handles my mild liners well and my Tombos well. There is a little bit of bleed through if you go over, and like here too, if you were to go over your colors a couple times. And I did that here so I could see what my colors look like with just one pass and then a couple more passes. But, it handles those just fine, well enough for me. A little bleed through in certain spots is okay, like that. That kind of thing used to bother me, but not so much anymore. So I'm fine with that. And I'm not sure what happened here, why that's wrinkled, if that got wet or what, I don't know. But I like it. I actually like when paper gets wrinkled like that. I like the weekly overview. I think that's very handy, although I have not figured out exactly how I like using it, and I don't often really return to it. This isn't necessary, but it is nice. It's a nice to have feature. I like the grid. That's nice too. The line spacing is a little tight for me, but overall it's pleasing to look at. I think that's probably it. Oh, I do like the at a glance calendar, and I like the built-in pages for tracking different things, which could be it was a little overwhelming at first to think of things to fill up, but then I thought I don't have to fill these up. I can just do however many habits or things I want in here. It doesn't matter. This was my favorite thing. This tracker where I could track two things on top of each other, and I might steal this and put it in my bullet journal. I really like the idea of this kind of layout. So yeah, those are the things that I enjoy. I had fun putting these stickers in here. This is my book club. This is a list of books that we're reading for the year. And I have a Midori A5 cover on here, plastic cover. So that kind of creates pockets in here, which is something I was missing, but it gives me the pockets that I need for loose papers. And it also has a pen holder on it, which I use for my highlighter because I always have a pen with me in my purse or at work. So those are the things that I enjoy about it. The things that were not working for me, the things that not necessarily that I don't enjoy, they're just not working for me. Miles has entered the chat. Hi. Okay. So let's go into this. What's not working? This is a minor thing, and these are not in any particular order. I just wrote them out and I'm gonna cover my information here, but I didn't like that. I thought it wouldn't bother me, and I don't know why it bothers me that the nameplate, where you put this journal belongs to, is in the back of the book. To me, that doesn't make sense. it should be up here in the front. I did put a sticker here and wrote on it, but it should be up here, because if someone finds my planner or my bullet journal, what have you, and they flip it open, that's the first thing they're gonna see, and that's naturally where I would look for information. I'm not gonna flip all the way to the very back, you know. So that's very minor, like I said. What else? So again, these are not in any particular order. I have the cover, which gave me pockets. This is true. I don't like that there's not a built-in pocket, though, that I had to purchase a separate accessory. First of all, to protect it, because I felt like this cardstock was, it's nice and it is thicker, but throwing this around, having it in my bag all year and not protected, it would be horrible. Another thing is there's no band, no elastic to keep it closed. No elastic to keep this closed. So when it sits on the desk, and these may be things that I'm nitpicky about because I'm so used to the bullet journal style. And again, some of these are not super important to this decision-making process. I'm just letting you know what is not working for me and the things that kind of just bother me a little that add to that. So yeah, there's no band to keep this shut. I prefer that, because when I put it in my bag or when it's on my desk, it's fine if it's like this on my desk. I don't care about that. But when it's in my bag, when it's bound, if a book has the elastic on it, which I know I could buy a separate piece, but again, that's another thing I'd have to purchase. It's likely that, you know, I might stick a receipt or something else could like jam into the pages, and then I don't like that. So that bothers me. It's not a super big deciding factor, but it does bother me. And I could always buy a separate elastic band. I have one actually that has pockets for pens, but I don't really like it because it moves around too much. I don't have it here, or else I would show you what I'm talking about. I don't know where I put it. Okay, so I like the monthly calendars. I do enjoy having these for reference, but I feel that they're wasted because only thing I'd be putting in here is birthdays, but I feel like that's redundant because I also put those on my dailies, and I don't know, I just don't refer to this. I did try writing out bills and you know, planning some stuff, but my lettering is horrible. Don't pay attention to that. But I don't find myself thinking to go back here that much, you know? So, and I never needed this in my old bullet journals. I would always write out a couple months and then I wouldn't look back at them. So I'm not doing that when I go into my bullet journal after this. But aside from not really utilizing this as much as I wish that as much as I think I should be utilizing it, I feel like it's wasted. I prefer my calendars in a linear view. I've gotten used to that with bullet journaling. Sure, I could go back to this. This is fine for reference, but I don't find myself turning back to this. I'm more into the daily. And again, like I said, with the weekly, nice to have, but I'm more into every day, what's happening from day to day. And then if I had a future log, I would refer to it. And that's all I really need. So I feel like some of this is redundant and wasted on me. Okay, and so here's the big thing. The biggest deciding factor, this is it, is I really thought that this column of space, half of a page for one day, would be enough for me. And I'm finding that it's not. And I'll show you what I mean. These are not probably going to be good examples, and you're going to say, oh, but you're doing just fine when you see. So this is where we start. Yeah, this looks fine. You know, not much going on here because it's the holidays. Still, I practice lettering because I didn't have much going on. And there are days when I don't have very much going on, as you can see. I pasted in an article about the LA fires because I wanted to remember that. And then there are days like there are days of the week like this where, you know, I have to-do list stuff over here, and then I have some journaling happening. And it's like here, I was trying to use this for like not here's another one, like YouTube planning, but I don't really look at that because I was also wanting to write it over here. I'm used to everything being just in the day space. It feels tight is what it is. When I'm writing, you can see I'm skipping lines here because I feel cramped. And yes, I could write things tighter, but these lines it's small. It's small for me. You know, some of this, I look at it and I'm like, oh, that looks nice. I like the way it looks. You know, that makes me feel good about how I did that day. But I like doing little creative type of things in here, but I want to do more. That's what the thing is. That's what it comes down to. I want to do more, and I don't feel like I can. And because sometimes I have days where I list out a bunch of things, and I am one of those people that, pay no attention to that because I didn't really follow that. I'm one of those people who, if I don't do it this day, I am going to migrate it to the next day, and I will continue to migrate it. Like here, I wrote work on aging report. That's something for work. I wrote it again. I still didn't do it. I wrote it again. And that's how my mind works. I'm going to keep moving it until I get to it. I'm not going to move it forward 3 days. I'm going to move it from one day to the next until I get it and get it done. That's just how I am. That's just how I like to function. Some people don't like doing the repetitive, writing the same task over and over. But that is how my mind works, and that's what I like to do because I can see how many times I'm migrating it. And I know people do like rolling weeklies. That I think that's the Alistair method is what that's called. But this is my method. This is how it works for me and what I prefer. And I wanted to write more here, write more journaling for this day. But I didn't really have much room. I mean, you're probably looking at this and saying, well, you had plenty of room. You just wrote really big. Writing this small all the time, excuse you, it's just not comfortable for me. I tried, you know, but Miles is in front of my face. It's not, Miles, please move. It's not comfortable for me. It's not that I don't like the planner. It's just not comfortable. And you know, maybe you think, well, you've only been in it for a month and a half. You got to give it more time. I don't know. I was in a bullet journal for 3 years. I'm a big Fraser fan, in case you haven't noticed. I was in a bullet journal for 3 years, and I feel like I know when something's not working for me. I feel like a month is plenty of time to know that something's not working for me. I feel like a week would be enough, but I kept going with it, and I was like, I'm going to just keep going and see if I can get through this. But today, like yesterday, I had written just this little part here, and today I added this, talking about how I miss being in my bullet journal. And I don't know, it doesn't feel enjoyable, and I don't like that. I want to feel good about what I'm doing, what I'm using, the tools that I'm using. I'm one of those people that I like having, I guess an everything journal is what you would maybe call it. My planned appointments, my to-do lists, my journal entries, whether they're short or long, my little bits of ephemera, some scrapbook type of stuff, you know, receipts, ticket stubs, things like that. Events that I attend throughout the year, gift lists, and my trackers, and random notes, and my finances. I want it all in one book for the year when it pertains to keeping memories and all of that business. I want it all. When I look back, let me look back at 2025. I just want to go to one book for that. I'm not opposed to keeping a junk journal or a creative journal. but I feel like those are separate things entirely. I feel like a junk journal is a space for me to go to just let out some random creativity, inspiration, maybe write some favorite quotes. But it's not specific to that year, if that makes sense. So yes, ultimately I have decided that I'm going to move out of this that I've tried to be in, and go back into a bullet journal. It's what I know, and I've been in one for the past 3 years, and it's the only thing that has consistently worked for me. So I don't know why I do this to myself, because I did this last year as well. Last year I picked up a Hobonichi Techo spring version in the A6 size. I don't know what I was thinking picking up an A6, first of all, because I'm used to the A5 size. But I thought, oh, it'll be okay because I'll get a page per day. And a page per day is just not enough. Let me find a page. I mean, this is one of my more full days. I was only in here for like a week. Maybe not even that, too. Maybe, I'm not sure. But again, there are days where it's light, like this. And that's fine. But then there's days like this when it's more packed. But I think I even wanted to put more in here, but I couldn't because I was restricted to this one page. With a bullet journal, I can do 3 or 4 pages a day if I want, or just a little section of a page, you know? So and I did the same thing. I left it, didn't come back to it. I kept this because I want to maybe use this paper, or I might donate this to, not donate it, but give it to one of my nieces to like play in, because I don't want it to go to waste, and I don't want to throw it out, and I don't want to give it to someone else who could see things that I wrote in here that's, you know, not a family member or something. Not that it matters, because this is not really private stuff, but, you know, it's just, and I didn't use these trackers, and I didn't use the calendars either. They were nice to have for reference, but didn't use them. Yeah, so, and then again, I bought the cover as well. You know, I might use this eventually as a junk journal. I might do that because I could easily paste over these pages. That's actually a good idea. That just came to me, so that's actually a good idea. I could use this as a junk journal in the future if I want to, because that is something that I'm interested in doing. But again, that would be a separate thing from having my everything book where everything goes for that particular year. I don't feel like the junk journal would necessarily be specific to that one year. You know, that would be an ongoing project over multiple years, possibly, or just many months of a year, you know? So I've done this twice now, and next year I'm going to look at this video when I start having these thoughts again of, oh, maybe I should try a planner. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because I know it works, and now I know what doesn't work. And I need to quit trying to fool myself into thinking that this is what I want, because it's not. Because ultimately, this is what I want. I want a Leuchtturm 1917 A5 hardbound dotted notebook. I bought this. I had this the end of the year. And I used a gift card that someone had given me. So the good thing about this scenario is I only paid for one of these books, which is not bad. Miles, they're focusing on you and not the book. That's okay. He's cute. Yeah, so this is what works for me, and this is what I'm going back to, and I'm giving myself permission to do that. I don't feel bad about it. I did at first, and then I thought, you know what? You don't know till you try. So I'm allowing myself to go into this, and I am going to take all of the information that I wrote in here and put it into this book. I know that seems like a lot, but for me, it's worth it to have it all in one space. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I just thought I would share that. I know that I'm not the only one who goes through this planner, journal, indecision. I watched a video just yesterday of someone who was having anxiety about just writing in their blank notebooks, and I know that feeling too. I've been in that space as well. So yes, that's what I'm doing. That's what's happening. Moving out of this. Again, this is all well and good. This is a beautiful planner. It's lovely, but it turns out it's not really for me as I had hoped it would be. And that's okay. That's totally okay. All right. I appreciate you sticking around if you've gotten this far and watching this video and listening to me and my decision-making process, my thought process on this whole situation that is really, I know it's a first world problem, but side note, I've been using the Sarasa 0.5 Mark On gel pens, the Zebra. I have fallen in love with these pens. They're fantastic. I love these so much. It's true what they say. You can write and highlight over it and it doesn't smudge. I think I have some area where I did that. Yeah, right here. I wrote and then I highlighted and it didn't smudge it. I love that about it. It's fantastic. And it just writes really smooth. I love it. So that was just a random little aside there. If you found this video helpful at all or entertaining, I would appreciate a thumbs up. If you liked this, please do give me a like. I would appreciate it. It's helpful. And if you are a subscriber, thank you so much. I'm very thankful that people want to watch me. So thank you for being a subscriber. And if you haven't subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button if you're interested in seeing more from me. And make sure you hit that bell icon so that you can be notified when I upload more content. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. I'm hoping to come back in a couple weeks, maybe, or maybe even next week, to do an update and show you how things are looking in this bullet journal where I'm at with moving information over. And I'll probably do a little bit of my decorating slightly different. It's just gonna naturally happen, I think. I wasn't completely thrilled with some of my Miles. I can't flip because it was hitting his chin with some of my choices here, but so it might look slightly different, but the same information will generally be in here. Okay, please comment below and let me know if you've gone through this type of planner indecision or this back and forth wavering, why am I like this type of deal. But like I said, I'm not gonna be beat myself up about it. I'm okay with it. I'm giving myself permission to do it, and that's very hard for me to do, but I am doing it. So there we go. All right, well, thank you so much for watching, friends. I hope that you get to spend some time creating today, and I will see you at my next video. Bye. Say bye.